These are 3 different sizes.
Today, I'm going to be sharing a collective haul with some art books, 1 Blu-ray, of course the usual manga, and something super exciting that I won in a giveaway, so let's get started. So these artists often do original artwork. First is this Bouquet of 1,000 Flowers by Senbon Umishima. I've showed in a previous haul a while back when I got the Rooms Illustration and Comic Collection book by the same artist. Their art style is gorgeous and so vibrant with their use of colors and environment and atmosphere. Some pieces are more like character studies and others are fully rendered illustrations, but they all have a really great sense of movement to them. I ordered Yueko's art book when she first released it back in March, and it came in this huge and nicely printed cardboard box. It's quite tall, so it's a bit hard to put this away. I kind of just have it on top of my shelf. I was so excited when she announced this because I really love her art style and all of her full pieces. I've gone to Yueko's Artist Alley booth several times over the years at conventions, so I already have some of her artwork as large prints, but having more and in book format is always welcome. These next 3 items are actually gifts from one friend who I am very thankful for. First is the Art of Gu Jiangwei by the artist Guweiz. I don't know how long I've been eyeing this book. If anyone is either an artist, art appreciator, or an art book collector, you probably already have this book or know this artist from seeing their work in a variety of places on the internet. Their portfolio is beautiful and moody and has such a presence to them. The way they render with lighting is often very dramatic, and it's always nice to see when they include their own art journey. It's definitely motivating to see their progress. And these next 2 books were a gift from that friend for my birthday, which just recently passed. They are graphic lyrics books of a couple BTS songs. This one is for Save Me, and the other is for Butterfly. I love so many BTS songs, and these 2, particularly Save Me, are of course one of the many meaningful tracks. As soon as I opened the package, I went to go play the songs while following along to the lyrics on the pages, and I just took in all of the illustrations. Music is incredibly powerful, and combining that with these soft illustrations is such an experience. The different textures of the pages are really neat too, and it just shows how much care and intention went into the music and its graphic representation. I'm going to throw in a few Genshin things. The first is this art book compilation from the artist makohouse. This has a ton of Genshin characters, starting with the Traveler, Paimon, Dainsleif, some of the Harbingers, and then gets into the characters per region up until I think Ayato's release in Inazuma. I ordered this online through her website, but I guess in hindsight I could have bought it at her booth during Anime Expo because makohouse is the same artist I bought a Skip and Loafer print from. But besides her art book, I also bought a bunch of art prints, some that are the exact same as the ones in this book, but I bought it again. And then some Sumeru characters, since those characters are not in this book. And then finally, in the back, she included some rough sketches and drawings, which are always nice to see. Next is this Genshin Rurubu magazine. I actually don't remember where I got this from. Or actually, wait, I think I might have gotten it from Kinokuniya. But it has this cute sticker sheet with Paimon. But basically, it's a travel guide around Teyvat, but only includes the regions of Mondstadt, Liyue, and Inazuma. There's mention of seasonal events, in-game dishes, some of the NPCs, and then gets into the viewpoints in various areas. If you play Genshin, this isn't anything new. I just thought this was a fun magazine. It even has real recipes in the very back. and then a birthday chart with some of the current characters at the time this magazine was released. I do wonder if they'll continue to do a guide like this, because we already know that I'm gonna get them all. Last Genshin item is this Genshin Symphony Blu-ray that has this past February's Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra performance in Yokohama. It comes in this nice slipcase, the 2 discs. They each contain the entire performance of 46 pieces, but the first one has the camera panning around, while the other is a static view. And then this booklet, it talks about the performers, and I think the coolest thing is the music commentary. So for each piece, it gives a short description talking about the intention behind the song, some of the instruments used, the feelings it invokes. Like, I love that. And as soon as I learned about this Blu-ray, I had to pick it up because the Genshin music is top tier and one of my favorites of all time for video game music. Before I continue into the manga related items, I want to thank TokyoTreat and Sakuraco for sponsoring this video. TokyoTreat is a monthly pop Japanese snack subscription box where this month's theme is New Year's Snack and Party. The snacks are inspired by Japan's Oshogatsu, or New Year's holiday. The booklet has some fun information on the local festivities and all things related to luck. Of course, all the snacks and allergen information are described within the booklet as well, but here are all the exclusive snacks that you'll receive for January. I'm gonna try this choco corn puff stick, and not gonna lie, I was anticipating this to be soft, but it's actually kind of like eating a wafer and was really good. It's not too sweet for a chocolate snack, and if I had a jar of these, they'd be empty by the next day. For Sakuraco, it's an authentic and more traditional Japanese snack subscription box that supports local snack makers. And January's theme is New Year's in Hiroshima. The booklet talks about some historical landmarks, the captivating arts and craftsmanship of the area, as well as the cultural delicacies. Again, the allergen information is listed for each snack and also notes whether they are vegetarian friendly or not. But here are all the unique snacks that you'll receive for January. And not only that, you get this special neko furushiki, which is a traditional wrapping cloth that you can use to wrap a gift for a special touch. I'm gonna try this Setochi lemon cream cookie. It's decorated with an image of Itsukushima Shrine's floating torii gate. The cream has a light lemon flavor, and the cookie has a nice crisp texture. The tea is an atsuki tea that was crafted by boiling roasted atsuki beans. It's caffeine-free, so it can be enjoyed by everyone. While it's steeping, I'm gonna try this maneki neko arare. These are a tasty and easy-to-eat snack, savory as well. But there goes the tea string into my tea. But the tea is simple and gentle in flavor. If you'd like to know more about these boxes and perhaps pick up some for yourself or loved ones, feel free to check out the description below for a couple links and a code you could use as well. Thanks again to the TokyoTreat and Sakuraco team for sponsoring this video, and onwards to the manga haul. From Barnes & Noble, I got volume 3 of The Princess of Convenient Plot Devices. I've read up to volume 2, so I still need to read this one. I've mentioned this before, but I surprisingly enjoy this. I assumed I would have written off this series because I've read other like royalty setting stories that kind of have this vibe, but they're not written well. They come off as way too cliche, and the flow of events is too simple. The premise for Convenient Plot Devices is so funny to me in that Octavia searches for love within her favorite BL novel. I hope it continues to keep me interested. Then I got Sasaki and Miyano Volume 9. I love this series and I've already reread it twice this year. This cover is probably my favorite of all the covers so far too. With Sasaki's teasing nature and Miyano's openness towards Sasaki, they just make me giggle in all their encounters. I haven't watched the movie yet and have been meaning to. I just keep forgetting. I'm so eager for this series to continue, but I know Sho Harusono is working on Hirano and Kagiura, plus the light novel, so I'm sure they're very busy, but I did see that Volume 10 is slated to release in Japan February of next year, almost 2 years after the Volume 9 release, but super excited to see that. So this was part of an in-stock Right Stuff order I think I got before Crunchyroll took over. First is My Dress Up Darling Volume 9. I left off on Volume 7, so I still need to read Volume 8 and this one. But I really enjoyed Volume 7. It made me laugh so much. This series is like an interesting mix of fan service and wholesomeness. Like the fan service is just there, but focuses more on the wholesome relationship between Marin and Gojo and their friends as they go about cosplaying a variety of characters. There's cute moments between Marin and Gojo for sure, but at least where I'm at, they're still kind of shy around each other. Then I got Blank Canvas Volume 5, which is the last volume based on Akiko Higashimura's artist story. So this is autobiographical. The only volume I'm missing is Volume 3, which continues to be out of stock on the Crunchyroll site for some reason. I would cancel it on Crunchyroll and just order it on Barnes & Noble, but I'm just going to leave it alone and I'll get it whenever I get it. Hopefully that volume doesn't get lost in the void though. I haven't started reading the series yet and I'm not in a huge hurry to anyways, so I'll continue to wait. And then I got the Spy Family official guide called Eyes Only. I originally bought the Japanese copy because I didn't think this would be translated, but I'm pretty happy that some of these are slowly being picked up by publishers, especially ones like this that have a ton of text. I've already gone through my Japanese copy before, but this version has all the colored illustrations and the poster, which is very cool. Here's one side of the fold-out poster, and then the other side, which is the cover. So like I mentioned, these guides go in depth about the series, the characters, and even have interviews with the mangaka, the studio, or other industry professionals. Having to translate this with an app would have been quite tedious to say the least.
Figured I would get the English translated version, and it would be the same size as the English manga. But seeing this, it's in the larger format. So here's the Viz volume for the manga. It's the taller version. The guide is the taller version. What the heck? There are 3 different heights. Are you kidding me right now? And it's deeper. Oh my gosh. I don't even... Why do they do this? Why do American publishers do this? They format things in all different sizes and it just looks so jaggedy on the shelf. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm here for the content and for the aesthetics next. But, you know, it's hard not to ignore the aesthetics. Anyways. Oh my gosh, look at this. Are you kidding me? They're all different. They're all different.
On to the manga, and continuing with Spy Family, I have Volume 9. This is actually one that I need to pick back up again because I was following along with the chapters online a long time ago, which was way past the English releases. I think I might have read up to somewhere in this volume though, but Spy Family is a cute series and a fun read. I'm not sure if maybe Volume 10 it gets a bit more serious because I have an idea of the content for that one just based on the cover. Or maybe I did read into Volume 10. I can't remember, so I clearly need to reread a bit. I got the Horimiya page 100 that was printed by Yen Press. I'm glad they translated this book, even though this has majority illustrations in celebration of the first 100 chapters of Horimiya. And I also kind of like how they use this dust jacket. Even though I had the Japanese copy, which I was able to resell, it's nice to be able to easily read the text on the illustrations itself and the storyboards from before it went to print. Next, I got the Horimiya official fan book that contains content from the initial anime, and then Horimiya Piece, which released earlier this year during the summer. The Horimiya anime is one of my favorites because I think they're a fun group of friends that give me such a strong sense of nostalgia and reminds me of being a youth. But Piece basically adapted content from a manga that wasn't already in the first anime. I saw a lot of comments on Crunchyroll with people thinking it was going to be a continuation. While I would have loved that, piece is just more slice of life shenanigans. It even has the storyboard for the Konoha manga that Sakura and Yanagi read, which is kind of silly. Back to manga, I got volume 18 of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I have already read this volume, and I don't know what else to say that I haven't said already in multiple videos. I love this series. This volume in particular had some major developments and a cliffhanger that will have me reading volume 19 very soon. And speaking of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, I entered this Crunchyroll giveaway on Instagram where they asked people to comment why they loved Hanako-kun. I'll put what I said on the screen. I was not expecting them to pick mine because I thought maybe they'd pick the most liked comment or randomly select the 3 winners, to which my chances of being chosen was slim since so many people commented. But I got a DM from Crunchyroll asking me to confirm my mailing address. So here's the shikishi of Minamoto-ko, signed by the Japanese voice actor Shoya Chiba. The shikishi for Yashiro Nene, voiced by Akari Kito. And then, oh my gosh. I can't believe I have Megumi Ogata's signature on Hanako-kun's shikishi. They're all very talented voice actors that match the personalities of their respective character. I have to give an extra fangirl moment for Megumi Ogata though, because she's one of my most favorite voice actors since the Cardcaptor Sakura Yue Yukito days. So it's been decades that I've loved her versatility as a voice actor. She's just so good and iconic. I'm so shocked and so humbled by these. But here's how I have them displayed at the moment using those overhang Daiso displays. Moving along, I got My Girlfriend's Child Volume 2. I've already read up to Volume 3. The series actually blows me away with how impactful it is. The art is a bit rougher, but I adore it. The rawness of it kind of matches with the feel of the series. Every volume so far has made me cry multiple times. It follows Sachi, who discovers she's pregnant after an intimate night with her boyfriend, Takara. Then it's the struggle of realizing how this changes their lives forever. The way the characters are written, the dialogue, the simplicity of the panels conveying a heavy meaning more than any words could describe. It tackles a delicate subject with such care and consideration. I definitely recommend this series if it isn't a sensitive or triggering topic for you. The next volumes are Bungo Stray Dogs Beast, Volumes 3 and 4. This one is a complete spin-off at 4 volumes that I haven't started reading yet because I was waiting for Volumes 1 and 2 to come back in stock. I believe this one focuses on Akutagawa, who honestly kind of bugged me, in the beginning at least. As I read on in the manga, he gradually became alright. But I'm curious to see what Beast has to say about his story. I'm currently watching the anime since I'm caught up on the main manga, so I'll either read this in between my watch through or after. Next is Bungo Stray Dogs Another Story, Volumes 1 and 2, which is one of the spin-offs of the main story that's still by Kafka Asagiri, but art is by Oyoyo this time. I don't recognize these characters noted in the synopsis, but I was out to just get all the Bungo Stray Dogs manga that I hadn't gotten yet after I read the main manga. Not sure how these fit into the overall story, but it focuses on a couple detective skill users as they investigate a complex murder. The art is crazy detailed. It's still ongoing, and I'll get into this after Beast, or maybe after the Dazai Chuya Age 15 volume as well. Next, I got the second omnibus for Don't Call It Mystery, which contains volumes 3 and 4. I haven't started reading this series yet, but I did pause on picking this up and just have this omnibus and of course the first one. I want to see if I'll like the story before I continue on, but I really only heard positive reviews about it. My mystery genre TBR is piling up, so 2024 is the year. But yeah, I know, 2024 just started, so who knows when in the year I'll start reading it. I pulled this from a proxy haul, and it's Gokudo to Omega Japanese Volume 3. This is a mature-rated Omegaverse Josei series and one of my favorite spicy series. It's by the same creators of Shoujo-kan, another spicy series that I do like more than this one, and that reminds me, I need to pick up that Volume 3. But they're both great in my opinion. The story isn't mind-blowing and it's pretty straightforward, but the art is amazing. It's so good. And the two leads are very sweet. Basically, Kunimitsu is the leader of a Yakuza group who grows close with Wakana, who's a writer. Throw in some conflicts where the two have to look after each other or save each other from sticky situations, and there you go. Next is My Happy Marriage Volume 4. I actually have mixed feelings about this series. I've spoken about this with a friend at great lengths about how the anime was a bit of a disappointment in terms of the story development. The way this portion of the story ended in the anime and some of the interactions were kind of cheesy. Like, don't take this to heart if you really love the series, because I know a lot of people love it and you can just ignore me. But it's interesting because prior to the anime, I actually really liked the manga and already read this volume. But the anime went farther than the English manga. And I have a feeling a part of what I'm struggling with is the supernatural element. I'm not adverse to supernatural because I thought it was a neat aspect for this series and something fresh. But now I'm wanting My Happy Marriage to just be a historical drama romance. And I'm hoping that Mia's character development moves along. I don't know, I paused picking up this manga from what I know from having watched the anime, so we'll see if I continue it. When I said earlier that I read some goofy royalty stories, this is one of them. It's The Night Captain is the New Princess to Be, Volume 1. I do not recommend this at all. I was completely suckered into picking it up because I liked the cover and thought the premise was cute. It follows Chris, who's the captain of the Imperial Guard, to her childhood friend, Prince Leonardo. Leo is demanded to find a suitable wife, but rather than it being arranged, he says he found the one already, and it's Chris, who has to get used to the whole idea, but of course struggles. It's only 4 volumes, and you can already guess how it might end, with Chris catching feelings and realizing that Leo does indeed love her. The execution of the story is pretty bad as it goes from scene to scene, and then the extra one-shots at the end are also super random. Demon King longs for forbidden love. My husband, the ninja? I was so confused as to what these were because I usually expect extra chapters to be related to the content I just read, but these were a bit painful to get through. Back to some series that I do like. Next is Old Fashioned Cupcake and Old Fashioned Cupcake with Cappuccino. These are mature rated BLs, and I have read both and really love them. There is an age gap, but they're both working adults. It follows 39-year-old Nozue, who's kind of settled into a monotonous routine. He doesn't really go outside of his comfort zone and just wants to cruise through life at this point. He gets close with a younger coworker, Togawa, who's outgoing and tries to pull Nozue out of his midlife crisis. I thought these were such cute volumes because they go out and explore shops and bond over various sweets. Nozue gradually becomes more open-minded and learns to embrace the more lighthearted side to life. I appreciate stories like this that involve adults because they're more relatable. I definitely recommend if you're of age. Next is our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide, Volume 4. I haven't read this volume yet, but this BL series and this couple are amazing. I love that the travel aspect is a huge catalyst in this plot since Asahi and Mitsuki took a chance to vacation around the world together, and by the end of it, agreed to get married. You definitely learn a lot of things about your significant other as well as yourself while traveling, so they are very relatable. Things can go wrong, but they continue to communicate, and I love that. Add to the mix the fun aspects of traveling and seeing the sights and immersing in the cultures. It's a great series that I recommend to everyone who might be looking to get into BL. It's not explicit too. And last couple volumes are Usotoki Rhetoric Volumes 3 and 4. This is one that I continue to enjoy. It's complete at 10 volumes, so we at least know when it ends. I enjoy detective themes and mystery crime-solving stories. If me loving Bungo Stray Dogs and picking up series like Don't Call It Mystery is any indication. So this is certainly a fun one that I look forward to with every release. I hope you enjoyed this mixed bag of a haul. Thanks again to TokyoTreat and Sakuraco for sponsoring this video. Feel free to check them out in the links below if you'd like some unique and tasty snacks to kick off the new year, or even to gift them out. I will catch you in my next video. Take care!